To power on the AT Gold, press the power button in the bottom left corner. To turn off the detector, press and hold this button for 1 second until the detector makes a second beep. When you have changed detector settings and wish to restore the AT Gold to its factory settings, press and hold the power button for 5 seconds, waiting until the detector produces a fast double beep. All metal items encountered by the AT Gold are referred to as targets. Garrett's exclusive Target ID technology provides 2 indicator scales to help identify targets. The lower scale is the AT Gold's discrimination pattern setting. These dark segments on the lower scale indicate what targets your detector will sound on. And when it sounds, a single segment will appear on this upper scale to show what you have found. The Target ID legend just above will then help you to identify the target. Ferrous or iron targets will indicate on the left side. Non-ferrous targets that are thin or that have low conductivity will indicate in the middle. Thick or high conductivity targets, such as thick silver, will indicate toward the right. There are 20 upper scale graphic segments for Target ID. When the AT Gold is switched into its Discrim 2 mode, notice that some of the lower scale segments disappear. The AT Gold will now only sound on targets represented by the remaining segments, but you will still see a Target ID cursor for every metallic target you find, including your discriminated targets. The AT Gold's digital Target ID system also provides a specific target value to help identify targets more precisely. Targets are identified on the LCD by number, with items with lower numbers being the most ferrous. The most conductive targets, such as thick silver, register toward the high end of the scale. The digital Target ID is a more precise version of the Target ID cursor seen in the upper scale. Notice as I pass this gold nugget in front of the search coil. The digital Target ID for this nugget reads between 51 and 53. Each Target ID cursor above has a width of 5 digital points, so you notice that the Target ID cursor is under the number 50 when the digital Target ID reads 51 or 53. This system, used in conjunction with the audio target signals, provides you with more information. It is important to understand that the AT Gold's detection depth can exceed Target ID depth. In other words, you will sometimes hear faint, deeper targets that do not provide any Target ID. Target values can vary based upon the orientation of the target in the ground, the amount of ground mineralization, and other factors. It is important to practice in the field to learn how these factors affect Target ID. This depth scale will indicate how deeply you'll have to dig to recover any coin-sized target that you find. Your AT Gold has 8 settings for sensitivity. Use higher sensitivity settings for very small or very deep targets. Use lower sensitivity levels in locations where the detector is behaving erratically. Several factors can cause your detector to appear to behave erratically. Outside electrical interference, highly mineralized soil, excessive metallic trash, or the presence of other metal detectors. Often these interferences can be resolved with proper ground balance, discrimination, or by changing frequencies, without having to reduce sensitivity. The AT Gold is capable of operating at 4 slightly different frequencies in order to minimize the interference from electrical sources, such as power lines, or from other metal detectors.
Sometimes if you're hunting in a gold patch, you may want to get in real close proximity to one of your other hunting buddies. With some machines, you're not able to do that real well because of electrical interference or interference from another machine. But with the AT Gold, you can overcome that with the frequency adjust. In this case, we're getting a lot of feedback from each other. I simply hit the frequency button and and find a frequency where it calms down. There's 4 adjustable frequencies to select from. And now we're able to hunt in close proximity. It's important to be properly ground balanced when you're metal detecting, especially when you're prospecting. A lot of this ground has a lot of high mineralization in it. So as I get into this area, I want to be sure that I'm properly ground balanced. First, I'm going to do so automatically. I'm simply going to push the ground balance button and hold it while I bob the coil up and down an inch or 2 above the ground and listen to the response. When I've got it to a very quiet or near quiet mode, now I can hunt with stable operation and pick up a good target, but not get all the response from the ground. The AT Gold can also be manually ground balanced, and if you want to go with that option, you simply press the ground balance button and release it until you see the ground balance sign come up on the LCD, and then use the plus or minus buttons here as you're bouncing it up and down to run it up until I get rid of that sound, and run it back down to where I just start to pick up a little bit of interference and then just lose it. And if I'm happy with that setting, I can click the button again and I'm ready to start hunting.